Hi, this is Dan from Magic Pachinko Restoration. This video is being made specifically for the customer who owns this machine, and it is a Nishijin Model A machine that I just finished restoring. And this video is going to show the machine off and also show the customer how to set the machine up. So obviously, if you're not the customer and you're watching the video, I hope that it will still benefit you because it will show you how to set up a Nishijin Model A style machine, or for that matter, almost any Pachinko machine. They're all kind of basically the same. So again, to my customer, you've seen the photos that I sent you. When I do a full restore, literally everything comes off the machine and gets thoroughly cleaned and then put all back on. So what I've done is I've replaced the background. This particular background suffered a lot of water damage and a lot of fading, so it's an exact copy of the original background. I got the electrical system working with the transformer that the customer provided. You can also use a 9-volt battery. I did add a light down here, and you'll see that when I turn the machine on. You don't need power to run a Pachinko machine, a vintage Pachinko machine. These will run just fine without power. The only thing that doesn't happen are our lights don't light up. So a little quick overview on this side of the machine. On the back side, I'll show you on the back side when I turn it around, but you'll feel a lever. It's spring loaded, and if you lift up on it, it will allow the front portion of the frame to open. This is new plexiglass. There wasn't any plexiglass on this machine, so this is brand new back in here. I repainted all of this because this was all faded. These are called crown decals. These are new. I put those on for you to make it look nice. All the nails have been pulled out, polished. Then I spend a lot of time playing the machine and making sure that the nails are in the right position so that as the ball goes down through, they don't get stuck anywhere. And it also allows the player to be able to get at each of the different pay areas on the machine. There's also a lever in here when you push down, then allows this to swing open. This is the upper supply tray. I want you to notice a couple of things. Right here is a wire, and down here is a piece of plastic. It's on a pivot, and this little piece of plastic is going to interface with a piece of plastic here that's spring loaded, and this wire will interface with this wire. Now the design is that when you close this, they go into the proper position, but you want to make sure that when you do close this, this goes above this, so it'll push it down, and this goes under this, so it'll lift it up. So again, when you bring it in and just push it closed, it should go into those positions. But if you have any trouble with balls not feeding in properly, that's the first place you want to look. Now when you close this, there's a catch here and here. So when you close this, you line your hands up where those two catches are and just push securely, and it'll lock it in place. Now on the other side of the machine, there is a release back here. I'm not going to do it now, but if you release it, it would allow the entire machine to swing out of the frame. Normally these would be mounted in a Pachinko parlor. They'd be mounted into a wall. Some people will mount these into a cabinet, and then they would use a key to open these and pull them out, open them up for service. Keys are rare. They're not needed today because obviously you can get at the back of the machine. Now there's a pipe cleaner in there, and you'll notice once we load this up with balls, this piece of plexiglass, it's thin enough that it doesn't stay completely flat. It's the problem with plexiglass. My suggestion, once you get the machine, would be to buy a piece of 16-inch by 16-inch piece of plate glass and replace the plexiglass. You could use the plexiglass in the outer channel for protection, but the inner channel would be glass. That way it's completely flat, there's no flexing, and the balls won't hang up. I don't want to ship it with glass for fear of breaking, but we always ship them with plexiglass. But I tried to put the pipe cleaners in just to push the plexiglass back a little bit. So that's the front of the machine. Let me turn it around real quick and show you the back. This originally had stabilization feet on it. I did not bother to put them on because when we ship it, I would have taken them off anyway. But again, for anybody watching the video, these are not stable at all the way they are. So you either need to cut some boards and screw them onto the bottom of this frames so that they stick out 4 to 5 inches on each side to give it stability, or you build a cabinet that's the size of this frame and only about 8 inches deep, mount that on the wall, and then put the machine into that cabinet. So that's something that if you want more information on, just contact me. Now this particular machine, all of this has been taken off and cleaned. This is the extra wiring for the extra light. This is not normally here. You do have 2 lights here for the jackpot on this particular machine, and 1 light here that comes on when there's not enough balls in the upper hopper. This machine is missing 2 covers, dust covers. There is normally a clear plastic cover that covers the jackpot chamber, and there would be a clear plastic cover right here. For some reason, I'm assuming in Japan they just took them off because it was easier to service the machine without taking the cover off, and the covers probably got lost or thrown away. They're not necessary, so if you have a machine that doesn't have these covers, don't worry about it. It's not a big deal, or they can be purchased. There are some people that are making them with 3D printers. So the first thing you're going to want to do when you get the machine, there are 2 areas that you need to check. One area is right in here, and the other area is down here. On the front side of the machine, there's a very tiny hole, and if you had like a paper clip, you could push through, and what it does is it activates this. It pushes this down. It lifts this lever up. It lets this go over. It's spring-loaded. It moves these arms out of the way and lets all of the balls that are in this area drop right down and out of the machine. So it's a maintenance thing. Normally you would never bother taking the machines or the balls out of the machine, but during shipping it may have jogged loose. So the first thing you want to do is push this over so that latches, and it keeps these arms from letting all the balls dump out. So if this were in a position like that and you start to put balls in, they'll just run right through the machine. So make sure that this is over and latched. The second thing you want to check for is this is called the seesaw chamber, and you see this white piece of plastic in here. Right now it's on an angle like this. For the machine to work properly, you want it to start at an angle like this. So there's a little rod right here, and you're going to push up, and this resets the seesaw chamber so that it's on an angle like this. Now when a winning ball comes in, it will roll into the seesaw chamber. The seesaw chamber will tip and let the ball continue down through here. It also activates the jackpot and so on and so forth. So, starting, you want the seesaw chamber to be up like that. This is a catch box. It's just made of plexiglass. You want to have a catch box that's about 8 inches wide and about 4 inches deep so that it will catch balls coming out of this chute, and the winning balls will drop out of this chute. So you need something wide enough to catch, and you want to put something in there that's soft so when they hit, they just don't make a heck of a racket. It doesn't have to be anything fancy as long as it will catch the balls. So the first thing you want to do is load this machine up. Once you've got this set and this set, you're going to take, depending on how many Pachinko balls you have, you're going to take the vast majority of your Pachinko balls and load them into the machine. Now what I'm going to do before I do that is I'm going to, in this case, plug it in and use the 12-volt transformer. And if you notice now, the light down here is on and the light up here is on. This is saying there's not enough or not any, in this case, balls in the upper hopper. Once we start to put balls in, the weight of the balls will go like that. Bring this down. It will open this switch so that it doesn't make contact and turn the lights off. So again, when this goes like that, it makes contact with this switch, it turns the lights on. It also lifts up on that metal wire on the inside and swings a gate out of the way so that the balls will go down through the machine. Okay, so we're going to put a bunch in. It's pretty noisy. I have no idea how many balls that is. It's probably a couple hundred. You want to put 95% of the balls that you have in the upper hopper. They're going to feed down through a double line, make a turnaround, again come down a double line, and drop balls on either side of the jackpot chamber. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 are on this side, and I believe the same amount are on the other side. When the machine cycles, this will open up and drop these balls out. They'll go across, ring the bell, and go out the front of the machine, and then the whole thing resets. So now the machine is ready to play. You're ready to go. So we'll turn the machine back around. And at this point, we're going to load a handful of balls into the upper tray. Now, you notice the red lights are not on because there's plenty of pachinko balls in there. When you first launch, nothing happens. It takes one cycle for a ball to get inside the machine. The second time, we'll launch a pachinko ball. The losing ball goes out the drain hole and drops into the catch basket. And we'll play this a little bit. See if I can get one to drop into a pay pocket. It's not impossible, but much more difficult to win when the tulips are not open. And so far, nothing's hanging up. Okay, so I'm gonna cheat so you can see this. This is one of the tests that I do. I check every pay pocket to make sure that it works. So if you were to drop a ball right down the center, it goes right in here, drops through, and opens these two tulips. Okay, and you notice the lights went on. If you drop it in on this side, it pays and would open this tulip. Now this tulip's already open, but if you were to go in on this side, it will also open that tulip. Over here, if these are closed, the ball goes over and would open this tulip. The same over here. And open the tulip. So I know that every pay pocket works and pays a jackpot. So now that we've got the tulips open, we'll launch some more balls. And obviously it's easier to win when the tulips are open. Now the launch shooter is spring-loaded. It is adjustable. But all I'm doing is using a different amount of down pressure. I can go all the way down and launch it way over, or not quite all the way down and keep it on this side. So that's really the only skill involved with a pachinko machine. The rest of it is pretty much up to no skill at all. There. Okay, so I hope that's satisfactory for you, my customer. And if you do start to run low on balls in the hopper, then this red light would come on, as with this light, and that just simply says take some of the balls from here, put them back. And actually by pushing back on this, it'll drop balls out of the upper hopper down into the lower hopper, and you can just grab them and reach right over the top of the machine and put them into the supply hopper on the back side. Okay, ashtray. Hope you don't smoke, but if you do, you got an ashtray. So that's it. If you have any questions, if anybody watching this besides my customer has any questions, please contact me. And to my customer, we will talk soon. Thank you.